You know, every road trip, I think, needs a stop at the library.
The traps laid by the abbot have proved tricky, and yet we have managed to break into the inner cloisters, and the library is close at hand, if memory serves. My friend looks weary and troubled, the weight of the world on his shoulders. I can see he is holding a terrible secret deep within. He is trying to bury it, and in its place the anger is taking over. We must not delay. We must find Dorin and take what we need before we are dragged down with the guilt. The need of the many outweighs those of the few now. We can shed no tears for those lost. We must be strong, and we must destroy the Lords of Shadow at any cost.
He's still wondering why they decided to include that Star Trek II reference.
Classic 80s action cartoon pose. Ho!
Well, we're in the Abbey's library, and we're just going to help out with the rental fees by destroying all of the books.
Shh. Quiet in the library. Shh. Shh.
They take the silence rule very seriously. They will murder you if you make any noise.
We are officially a paper shredder.
I'm sure there must be a way of entering the library from here.
Well, we got a new enemy type. This is the animated armor. For a long time, including all of my first playthrough, I really hated this particular enemy, including when I was recording this. It wasn't until afterward that I developed an actual decent strategy for dealing with them. But they can be pretty tough if you just try to take them head on.
They look a bit like a reuse from Symphony of the Night.
You know, it's possible.
I want to say there was... I'm not positive there was an animated armor now, but it sounds familiar.
Most of their attacks are unblockable, and the way that their AI works, they tend to stack them, especially when they're in groups.
Oh.
And you don't have many options to run away, although this is one of those enemy types where the animated armors are immune to fairies, but they are weak against light magic fairies.
Gotcha. Quick, while the shield's gone, throw the book at him.
Throw war piece at him.
Oh, okay, that's a war crime is what that is.
Death by Dostoevsky. Or sorry, Tolstoy.
Here it is. I found it. Get out of here. I'll keep the trap door open.
All right, we got a light mirrors puzzle here, and it'll just give you the solution right away if you don't want to solve it, because it's going to take up the rest of the entire level.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
I bet you really liked the library light puzzle in Sands of Time. It's pretty much like that. Yep, that was the one from Skyward Sword.
Perfect.
I used the one from Ocarina of Time in our Deadly Creatures playthrough. I thought I'd use one from a different Zelda game this time.
It really is the whole library.
Yeah, pretty much. I recently saw a documentary on booksellers and antique book collectors. And this looks very much like, the kind of house I saw in that film.
What we're doing to the books looks like their nightmare.
Yeah. Only slightly more disorganized.
Okay, we've established the traps, fella.
Yeah, and fairies.
Fairies can distract enemies.
Really, I never knew that. It's not like we've been using them for 3 chapters now.
This is the origin of hey, listen, right?
No, this is the origin of listen up, dumbass.
Hey, that mechanic you've been using? Check this shit out.
Yeah, this is gonna keep going. We got more and more puzzles to solve with this particular light beam. And the trial for this area is actually pretty interesting. You'll be seeing that in 2 videos.
Oh, wow.
Oh, hey, remember these guys from video 6?
Yeah, they back.
They get very easily distracted by fairies, thankfully. I can't remember if I showed off in this video or not, but it actually is possible to damage enemies with the, like right there, with the movement of items, or of statues, for instance.
Ooh.
When you move them. There's one particular chapter, a level I think in chapter 6, where there's one particular item where it's a lot of fun to use it.
Wow, they really did a beautiful job with this level. Like, all the levels, but this level.
All we needed now was just Claudia to dress up as Farah, and this will be perfect. Well, we can't, can we? Can we, Gabriel?
You screwed it all up, Gabriel.
Alright, so at this point I knew that there was another animated armor fight. And I was I was like 1/4 short of a Dark Crystal. And so I spent about 5 minutes breaking every single object in the room looking for another shard.
Just one. Just one shard.
Just 1 shard left, in honor of Claudia.
Gabriel, you still have 1 shard to go.
1 shard left. And I couldn't find it in the end. And then I ended up finding the shard in like the very last breakable object in the entire level, pretty much.
Shard. Shard. There has to be a shard.
It's somewhere. Yeah, right over there.
Yoink.
Yeah, I'm skipping the cutscene this time.
Nope, sorry, algorithm. This one escapes.
Die, algorithm. You don't belong in this world. And it was then at this point I realized I'd run out of magic. I had to go back and refill it. At least it's nearby.
Now it's starting to feel like a Metroidvania. A bit.
Yeah, I wouldn't go that far, but it's the next 2 games have more Metroidvania feels to them. This one's much more linear.
Maybe you can tear down this wall. Now I'm going to ask a dumb question. Is this one contiguous beam of light going through the whole level?
Originally I thought so, but it turns out no, it's not.
Aw.
We did it.
Flashlights out! Woohoo!
Yay.
To the tower. Take it away, Pat.
The tower at the Abbey of Weigall was once a place where men of God sought knowledge and protected the people with Christ's love. Now it is the refuge of a man driven insane by fear. Dorin has abandoned his people to death or worse. A powerful relic keeps the vampires at bay, and we must take it if we stand any chance against the Dark Lord's minions. I know of a secret way that will take me to the top of the tower by a different path. Gabriel will have to find his own way for now.
I also like this sort of mid-cast sky.
It's pretty.
Alright, so we're going to pick up this scroll. So there's reference to Laverne and Bernard. And it is signed by H. This is a reference to the classic adventure game Day of the Tentacle.
Oh my god!
Yep, they went there.
Bravo, Konami.
Well, it's Mercury's team.
Yeah.
Anyway, ghouls are more interesting to fight in these cramped areas because you're trying to keep them away from their bodies. Also, this is what Holy Cross looks like. Be gone, demon!
Demon be gone.
You'll get a better look at Holy Cross in a later video. But it's a wide cone AoE attack that drains a lot of light magic, but it's great for crowds. As long as they're directly in front of you.
Bless this mess.
Lots of breakable objects in this level. That's going to come up later.
More health.
Yes, we must respect the music.
Oh.
So the majority of this level is going to be platforming, actually. We're going to climb to the top of the tower and find out what's been going on with this abbot.
Oh, sweet.
Hopefully there's no boss fight or anything. I don't know. I don't want to beat up an old man.
Oh, we've already stabbed a woman. Why would this be off limits?
Well, you have to, go further down the ladder first.
No, dig up, stupid.
This is just explaining further about how focus meter works.
Oh my god, they're just driving it home.
Just write normal tutorials. You don't need, and not everything needs to be in universe,
I'm just gonna say it. Everything else so far about this game, great. Maybe not like the ultimate game in the series, but really, really well done. The scrolls, stop it. Get help.
So, some of them are silly fun, like the Day of the Tentacle one.
Well, yeah, but like the ones that are recapping for the umpteenth time stuff that you've already learned how to do, because you might have to do it 2 seconds later.
Yeah, that could
tone it
pretty
down
ridiculous.
just a touch.
At least they're not as bad as like the lore in Alone in the Dark, which could go on for like 6 minutes.
Lord. Yeah. Oh, Jesus Christ. I've seen some of that. Oh.
Just remember, it can always be worse.
Combat visceral, level design excellent. Puzzles very clever, but not, from what I've seen, overly frustrating. Scrolls,
Alright, so that's pretty much the end of the combat in this level. From here on in, it's all climbing. And some of the climbing can be... it's mostly about how the game telegraphs its climbing.
Sure.
It can be a little iffy on occasion. There are actually 2 splices towards the end that I've done my best to hide, but it was mostly a result of poor communication on the game's part.
I was gonna ask, and feel free not to tell, how many takes the climb took.
It was all done in 1 take, but so like for instance, this I remembered that there was a long sprint jump I had to do. But for instance, I thought it was before the camera change. And it's just because of the way that shadow is placed.
Gotcha.
It always fakes me out every time. Anyway, there's a collectible over here. Another life gem already.
Another scroll to climb, go up? You don't say!
Yeah, here's another weird one. I was like just off. I had to move a bit over.
Doesn't want to. Yeah.
Yeah, Gabriel is very specific about where he will or will not jump.
Nice upskirt.
Well, we're almost at the top. I hope the abbot is at least somewhat cooperative.
My guess is no.
Well, you never know. You never know with those abbot types. I'm sure he'll be very cooperative if we just smash through his window.
Where's the abbot?
Inside.
No! No! Get away from me! I know who you are. The devil has sent you. You are demons who serve him. He told me you'd come. He does it to torment me.
Your people perished while you hid behind the one thing that could have saved them. You don't deserve to call yourself a man of God.
Gabriel.
No! It's mine! You can't take it!
There is a need far greater than yours.
You cannot take it! You are not worthy! Don't leave me here, you dogs! Curse you! Damn you to hell! altum corde pecata. Est la violacia et totus, et corum et habemus possessum peccatum, et sis periculum, et aftercarities,
Please, help us.
What is it? What's happening?
They want you, sir. They want you alone. You must go to the village, or they will kill us all.
You do realize it's a trap.
I know. But still, I must go.
Do what you must. I'll take care of the boy.
And yes, you were right, it was holy water.
Nice.
We'll see how holy water works in the next video. Speaking of Portrait of Ruin, Browner is going to be the next boss, but I'm just going to nip it in the bud right here. If you are expecting Browner to be anything like the gentlemanly vampire who uses paintings as attacks, you're going to be disappointed. The fight with Browner is really good, but it's not going to be like how he is in the main game in Portrait of Ruin. So, sorry about that.
I didn't play enough Portrait of Ruin to know who that is. So,
Okay. So you
I'm
don't
not spoiled.
you don't have expectations to be ruined then.
That's what being over 30 is.
Over 30. A blessing and a curse, much like vampirism.
40, come and take me.